Hello, welcome to Human Animal Audit Corner. You can tell I changed up my name. I reinvented my whole channel, and I'll fill you in this week. It's about both human rights and animal rights activism. And not only I'm going to talk about those topics, I'm also going to be in my kitchen and my crafts table. Now, you all know you eventually have to eat, and when you just came out of a cult like Scientology, guess what? You're going to have to do all your own cooking. You got your clothes on your back, your transportation, your apartment, given aid from either the Aftermath Foundation or the SPTV Foundation. But you need to know how to cook. So here's where I come in. I got a recipe for you. Well, for your Super Bowl party, but this is years out of when you're in a cult, or maybe you were invited to a Super Bowl party. But however, I got the recipe for you. I'll be making pizza and egg rolls today, and I also got the crust ready for an apple pie. So let's just get started. First, grease up your, I'll be making, First, you have your pie crust that everybody, I ran late today. Sorry about that. I needed the food to get to you guys. So here I go. All righty. Is this okay? Yeah, it's okay. So first you're going to need a half a cup of tomato sauce. All right. And now, once you have it, take a spoon, a regular spoon, and spread it. Ready? And you know this is the best thing for your Super Bowl party. When years out of the cult, and you have a guest who just came out of the cult, like Scientology. All right, and there you go. There's your pizza crust. You know what? Let's put a teaspoon more. Or maybe two. So I assume it's 2/3. Okay. A cup or two of mozzarella. Of course, this is plant-based, so I guess you can use any cheese you want. So this is the plant-based mozzarella. And you can add any topping you want. Of course, I didn't think of bringing any peppers, but guess what? I wanted mushroom pizza, so go. There we go. All right. There. Maybe a little bit more. Now, I got the story through the grapevine that the Aftermath Foundation just rejected aid from rejected aid to Laura FM. Of course, go to her website or channel. You want to donate to her channel and to her living? Go ahead and do so, because the Aftermath Foundation just rejected Laura FM's application for aid, of course. So get to her channel and donate. Okay. All right. There's not much in there, so let's just put it in. So here we go. All right, here we are. There weren't much in there, so I just poured it on. There we go. All right. This goes in the trash. All righty. And now you're going to need your topping. Of course, you know what I love? I love my garlic, and I want it. So let's sprinkle on the garlic. There. And I'm going to add mushrooms to mine, but you can add whatever you want on your pizza. So let's just add this on. So now, those of you who weren't in the cult before, Laura really needs the aid. If you can afford to actually give a helping hand to her, go to her YouTube channel and donate your money to her today. I think she might be on PayPal, but check with her as soon as you get back and just give her your love. And why did they actually reject her application? I don't know. I don't know the circumstance, so I can't really say what's going on. So whatever the circumstances are, yeah, I mean, I don't know the full story on what's going on. I just heard from Julia O'Connell. I think that's the way you say it. And she said that Laura FM needs aid. So I guess she must be on her PayPal account. And I would say, Laura, try the SPTV Foundation. See if you can get your aid there. All right. So we got the mushrooms on there. So, all righty. Here we go. Oven's all heated up. There. So now I'm going to use this for something else. Okay. I'm get my morning coffee. I have the tendency of being a little grouchy. So, all right. Stick this here. Now we're going to stick this in the oven. All righty. So we'll stick it up here. No, we'll stick it down here. I'll just be careful. All right, there we go. So that's in the oven. And the second thing you want for your Super Bowl party, for your appetizers, here are your nuts. Filled with raisins and peanuts. It's a trail mix you would love. There. So you add about a couple of cups of raisins. You got your peanuts in there, which is great. And all you need is 1 cup of almonds. So a cup or 2 of almonds would do great. All righty. Stick it in. Of course, this is slide, so I'm gonna put in 1 more. All right, there we go. Of course, we're gonna take it and shake it up. Oops. You gotta make sure this is sealed really properly. Then we shake it up with the peanuts and the raisins. So we got this mixed up. So I think we should put like maybe about a cup more of raisins. No, a half a cup more. So all right, there we go. We got the half cup more since there's already raisins in there. All right, there we go. The best thing for your Super Bowl party is your trail mix. So we're going to mix this all up. Shake it. All righty. Now, you all know we have a new person out of Scientology. His name is Amir, and he is spilling everything out. So here we go. And today, this week, he had an interview with Nora, Angela, Gillian Grady, and Mark Fisher since he got out. You can put it in a small custard bowl if you only have one guest or several. There we go. Or you can put a variety out. There it is. And there we go. And you can put things like coconut, but I wouldn't put coconut in there. But if you want to, go right ahead. Let me see here. Put like sunflower seeds, whatever. Yep. Now either you're spending your first years out of the goat in your Super Bowl party, or your first time out like I'm here, and you're having a good time. There's your mixed nuts with your raisins, your almonds, your appetizer. Okay. So you're gonna need, you know what? Yeah. Okay, let me get it. Now, here we go. Maybe we'll put the mushrooms in here, but we don't have the roots. Didn't think I'm getting it, but all right. First, about the water. All right. First, you shred up. Shred up your. Oh boy. All right. Well. Okay. This is a Chinese cabbage. Okay, so we'll just stick this over here for a sec. All right, so you shred up your cabbage. All right, so we're here shredding everything up. We're using a grater to actually shred up your egg rolls. What is going on this week with Scientology? Of course, you know, Alex is arguing and advocating against Scientology's next year IAS event, which is going to be in London or England on the countryside of London. And of course, he lost the battles, but guess what? Not without strings attached for Scientology that they're gonna have to follow. With the marquees, they have to have building plans in order to actually, in application, they need the permission license, of course. Alrighty. Now, as you know, let's see what else is going on. Of course, you know, it's Aaron's trial. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Now, what is going on in Aaron's trial? We're going to keep our fingers crossed with him. Jeez. And see what's going to go on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot what the strings were attached in Scientology's. Yeah, because they got different laws down there than we do. Of course, they're preserving the. Of course, this is what I remember. They have a countryside, and it's the safety matter of the people who live there, the citizens of St. Hill. Now, of course, the roadside people drive on is 60 miles per hour. It's 60 miles per hour, and Scientology was actually blocking the sidewalk, and of course, people had to walk. Yeah, Scientology just does whatever they want, and they have to actually follow the regulations set out. The rules that, and this is not just with Scientology, it's with any event. Now, Alex was concerned that they were taking up the sidewalk and the people had to walk on the streets, which was really, really dangerous. It was dangerous for anyone who was walking down the street when they're not supposed to be on the street. And there on the countryside road, people drive 60 miles an hour on the side roads. Okay. And yeah, it's a mess. Of course, you all know Scientology doesn't want to follow any of the laws that any country, much less the United States, they just don't want to follow the rules that we are following. So, now, after taking apart your Chinese cabbage, you add a package of roots in there. Of course, I forgot to actually get it. So, but I'm going to use the mushrooms. A little bit of the mushrooms in here. Is this authentic? No, it's not authentic. Not while I'm making it. All right. Okay. Is it authentic when the Chinese and the Japanese make it? Yes, it is. It's an Asian I think it's, yeah, an Asian roll. Ready? Here we go. And this is combination of a salad, cabbage and a celery. So, grate this up. And what else is going down with Scientology? Well, you know what? Media 18, is hardly doing any Scientology content. I've been on there a couple of times, and he's showing off cars, which is not a bad thing, and it is cool, but at the same time, he's not talking about Scientology, so I've been skipping it lately. Okay. You put a packet of roots in with your Napa. Of course, I don't have it, so. Okay. All right, there we go. Gotta put this away. A little more. Now, he should just, you know what? If he doesn't want to do it, if he doesn't want to put out any more content, Scientology content anymore, he doesn't really have to. But Is Laura going to go back? No, I think she's strong-willed. She's not going to go back. And let's see. And of course, L. Ron Liar was at one of the Scientology buildings, the test center, and of course, you all know that they do anything to avoid any protester. Now, before the protesters were there, they had everybody there. And of course, after a while, people left, and then that was it. They were doomed. They were good. Their numbers starting to dwindle, and it's all the good work of the protesters that are out there. I saw this week, I saw it before. It's this kid young kid that actually went into one of Scientology's buildings, and pretend he was somebody else. He wanted to expose Scientology. But, okay, so this is all we need anyhow. So let's just wrap it up. And I think I'll use it for my salad this week. Okay. So I'll just put it in this one. So now, what should we do here? All right, we're going to put this in the oven. So let's get the cooking spray out. Now, you do not have to fry it. You can easily bake it. So we're going to spray this with olive oil. But if you want to pan fry it, about maybe 1.5 to 2.5 cups of oil. But you know what? We should watch our intake. So, alrighty. Okay, so let's clean this off. And I think this should be enough for us. Now we're going to put in our mushrooms. Put in a packet of roots. Okay. This is the best thing for the Super Bowl party. It's the greatest. Now, we're going to pour about 1/2 cup or 1 cup of olive oil. So this is, I would say, 1/2 cup. Okay, let's see here. Put this aside. Now we're going to chop up the mushrooms. We'll use that. Okay. I know you said it was going to be, I said it was going to be a Super Bowl brunch. But however, the foods I'm making, it's probably a little dull by now. And we're going into, brunch, meaning it's a combination of lunch and breakfast at the same time. So, all right. Now this week, I am definitely going to have, I know I should have waited to the end, but you know what? I can't wait. I have a monologue coming right up about can. So it's going to be a monologue and it's going to make you laugh. An egg roll soup, but it's really whole. So, all right. Okay. Now, and I brought up earlier that Amir is now out of Scientology. And as you know, as I mentioned, Janice Gillen Grady interviewed him and Mark Fisher. Okay. And of course, Cheryl's out and giving her awareness to Scientology with what went on her family. Her dad actually ditched her family because Scientology told him to. So, yeah, that's the worst thing anyone can do is break up a family. Now, of course, people, the whole entire, almost each and every person almost thinking that Scientology is similar to the mafia. No, it isn't. No, it isn't, because they don't go around breaking up families, and they have to keep a low profile. Scientology never does that. And they can't put their hands on another made man. And what else is there? And they do not let guys like David Miscavige run loose, and they don't let anyone take over the way he does. I mean, they would get rid of them, because they don't let guys like David Miscavige run loose. They don't let anyone beat anybody up. So, it's the same old story hearing from me, but okay, what else that they don't do? Let me see here. Yeah, they can't sell any drugs. They do, they're gone. And they do not go out and kill people. And, well, innocent anyway. And yes, they do kill, but they use it as a last resort. Not that it makes it right. So, give them less money, but guess what? Mafia gives them a little bit more than Scientology. They don't give them $50. They give them a salary, but still not enough to live off of. But however, they pay more than Scientology pays their staff, but it's a little bit more than that. Of course, they're not going to give people only $50. Okay. And what else is going on? And let's see. Never go into clubs or bars, of course. Nowadays, they're not following the 10 commandments of the mob. There's a program called 10 Commandments of the Mob, and it's on YouTube. And yeah. Now, According to Dominic Sicali, the mob has gotten a little bit soft. But at the same time, yeah, they just, believe it or not, are not like Scientology. Now, if they were comparing them to children of God, I wouldn't be having this conversation. So, yeah, and when you pay up to the boss has to share the loot with everybody. They can't be greedy. And guess what? David Miscavige is greedy. And they don't let guys like that run loose. If they don't get their money, they'll be out for vengeance. But yeah, you have to share the loot with everybody. Of course, doesn't make it right because guess what? That's stolen money. But they certainly do not squeeze it out of their members. So the story in the SP community is not being told right. Now, Mr. Augustine says he did the research, he had the books, but yeah, he did not do a thorough job. And the way he described it doesn't describe what the mafia does. But do I respect him? Yes. All right. We'll put in a few more. And yes, their kids are born into the life. But yeah, are they born into Scientology? Yes, some of them are. Some of them come in a little later. But guess what? Mafia does not break up the family, and they do not put children or infants in the separate rooms to leave in their mess. That's with their infants. And they don't get 7-year-olds to take care of them. They would think that's the mother's job. They don't break up families like that. And their kids are never heavily neglected, although the violence is tolerated in their house. They're grooming their kids to be killers, and Scientology grooms their kids to be slave labor. So that's where the difference is. No. But violence is tolerated, but in a different way. Scientology's violence is to groom kids to be slave labor. Their violence is to actually be trained assassins. So it's different. So, and when you're there to serve Scientology, you're there to serve Scientology. And when you're there to serve the mob, you're there to serve the mob. But however, they're not completely like mafia. No, that's out the window. Now, I would have thought the same thing if I didn't actually do the research myself. I went right in to the internet, started researching, and then I said, okay. So I did a project of my own, and I'm trying to finish it, but it messed up, so I had to retype it and then send it. So no, they're not like the mafia. So Now, they do run their own businesses, not front groups, and they actually do have a charity and they do donate. But do they pocket it? You know what? I don't think so, but when they donate, they donate. They want to have a fundraiser, they have it, but they donate all their own money. Like, for example, Joey Merlino, he's in the was until he got shelved for whatever reason. He's the first mob boss to ever be shelved. Yeah, it's really humiliating when you're actually the mob boss and you get shelved. So that's it. They're not using him anymore. But is there such thing as being shelved in Scientology? No. They run off, and then that's the end of it. Now, in the mafia, they just don't go looking for them on their own free will. If they don't know where they are, they don't know where they are. But with Scientology, they hire private investigators to track them down and bring them back. Now, with the mafia, they don't want to waste any time doing that, so that'll be the end of it. If they find them, yes, they would kill them. But and that's not something that they do. So other than her, don't really take, even though they mean well, but yeah, that's not the way the mob would be ran. No. Because they have the soldiers. Well, there's the associates, the soldiers, the lieutenant, the capo, the underboss, and the boss of all bosses. And there's somebody ahead of them. Now, David Miscavige made sure that there's nobody ahead of him. But if that was the mob, no. They would not let him do that. He'd be dead. If he was the actual mob boss, he wouldn't even make soldier, much less mob boss. Yeah, they'd get rid of him in a heartbeat. So, yeah, I mean, they do mean well, but yeah, I would have thought the same thing. But the fact that I did my research and did more of it, yeah. All right, and then you're going to put, about half a cup of soy sauce. Okay. I might have put too much. Okay. Yeah, let me grate some more in here. Now, you know what? Put like about 1/3 in, but this is like covered, so go. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put more in there. Now you put the pizza in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. So let's see here. Yeah, it's melted pretty good. Okay. Now this is a combination, of course, I just told you, of cabbage and celery. Network is not telling the mafia versus the Scientology right. I'm going to continue to actually do it because they're accidentally giving you the wrong information. They're not, nothing personal with them. They just think that because they think just because they're a criminal organization, they run like mafia, but no, they do things differently than am I doing a wise job doing this? No. So I'm going to cut. Oh, geez. Okay, well. Yeah, I'll rinse this off later. Now. Okay. So I'm putting a little bit more in there because I drenched it. So just next time, just depending, if you put the whole thing in, then yeah, with the half cup, it'll be fine. But sorry about that. Yeah, I'm putting a little bit more in here. So yeah, I'm going to continue to actually bring more Scientology versus the mafia because they're not telling it right. So I have to just jump in and give you the full story on how different they are. And of course, if you caught this week's version of Scientology versus the mafia with the treatment of children, then you know that mafia would train their kids to be trained assassins, while Scientology would train their kids for slave labor. All righty, here we go. So I'm going to continue to do my Scientology versus the mafia. The next one is going to be Scientology versus the mafia with the treatment of animals. So watch that. Okay. Since this is also an animal rights activist show, too, I'm going to compare the treatment that Scientology gives animals and the version of how the mafia treats animals. So that would be next. So should it be next? Okay, keep your eye out. And see what story I have for you next. So, because usually, like my cooking, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. But however, I'm going to have a monologue this week since I have a blend of entertainment in there. I am going to have a monologue corner. Is it going to be funny? I think it will be. So, okay. Yeah, did I almost put the whole thing in there? Yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm going to continue to do more Scientology versus the mafia, since they're not really getting how Fourth Mafia is run. But so far, Ashley was dead on when it comes to families. And alrighty. Too big. Let me see here. All right. Now, yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more. So, is Jenna's cooking better than mine? Well, probably, because I'm not really a kitchen girl, so I don't know. So, okay, but while I'm actually cooking, I'm also talking about Scientology. So, it will cover both when I'm cooking and my stories about Scientology. Now, I try to do it 7 days a week, but I'm not getting paid. And of course, Fluffer Squirrel doesn't want to have me on the network. So what can I do? I'll try again and see if she put me there. But if not, I'm going to have to find some other way to. All right. So. Oh, boy. Yeah. I ended up putting the whole thing in there, so. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to chop the rest up, because I have to hold this in order to actually chop it up. Cut it up as thin as you can. Oh boy. Okay, there. Some of it actually landed on my chrome, so. Yeah, I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. All right. Oh, I can't think of what's going on this week. You know what? I don't think Laura's dog was abused. I think Scientology wanted to spread some kind of rumor. So, yeah, I don't think her dog was abused, because Scientology does that. They put out a rumor out there if the former members actually abused their animals, where in fact it wasn't true. So, I don't think her dog's getting abused at all. So I think it's something that's just put out there. So, I mean, she never mentioned it when she was eating the other day, because I think she would have been all over that story. But I will keep my eye out. But yeah, I got a mention on my channel, that a notice saying that her dog is being abused, but I really don't think that's happening. So, yeah, I think Scientology is just trying to jerk everybody's chain. And yeah, I don't really think her dog's being abused, because she's not really all over that story at all. Okay. Because if her dog was getting abused, she would mention it. But so far, I think Scientology is just trying to put some wild rumor out there, because they did it to one of their other members. Her name is Stacy. She was fostering animals to actually prepare them in finding them a home, and when they find them and they're put up for adoption, she gives it to them. But yes, Scientology put the story out there saying that she abused animals when in fact she didn't, and they all were euthanized. So Scientology treats animals inhumanely and then blame it on their former members. So they do that. They put a story out there. It could be any story, but in this case, they were using animals. Now, until I hear the story and until Laura expresses it, then that means it's not true, most likely. So she would have poured her heart out, and it doesn't look like she's doing that. So I wouldn't take that story lightly, and I apologize for that. Yeah, I just had to toss those 2 cents. All right. Now we're going to dump it in here. Yeah, I ended up using the whole thing because I used a little bit too much soy sauce. So. And of course, I'll probably have enough to last me until next. Now, usually they would have an egg wash for egg rolls, but I'm not going to use an egg wash. I am going to use olive oil. All right, it worked. All right, I put the whole thing in there and it worked. So if you're going to put a half cup in, add the whole neighbor in. So. It looks like the pizza is done. So let me grab it out. It really melted well. And there it is. There. So we'll put it here. Okay. It's done. So then, keep on mixing this up. Yeah, I mean, I've got something on my channel and it was a mention, and it doesn't really look like anything's happening to her dog. I mean, it's something that Scientology is now putting out there, and it looks like it's not true at all. So I apologize. Oh boy. All right, you know what? I'm just going to cut this open with. All right. Okay. Now, okay. All right. So now I am gonna wrap up my egg roll, but I am not gonna fry it. I'm gonna bake it. Is it authentic? Probably not. So, but you know what? I did the best I could. Is Laura gonna do? Not Laura. Jenna gonna be doing a better job at it? Is Sam gonna do a better job at it? Probably. So, I mean, some people are gonna do something better than you. So we're gonna take. Now this is my vegan version, so I'm gonna take the olive oil from my egg wash. Spread it like this. Now I do welcome Jenna to actually see if she can do a better job with me, which I'm not doubting at all. So, alrighty. But at the same time, I'm not going to use someone else's recipe. So, Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a little bit too much, so. Am I wrapping it up right? Probably not, so. All right. Okay. Now, grab this other one. Now, it looks like I'm going to have enough food to last me in a time. So, now, there we go. All right. Put a little bit in at the same time. There we go. All right. And then we're going to roll this up. All right. I got it now. We're going to take this flap right here. I'm going to fold it over like this and then fold it over like that. Of course, I probably grabbed two. Yes, I did. Isn't that a hoot? Okay. And then we're going to close it like so. All right. There. Then we're going to stick it on the pan. Then I'm going to take our next one. Now, okay, this is, yeah. All right. I grabbed up two again. So use an olive oil for our egg wash since I'm a vegan. Well, trying to am towards being a vegan. And then I'm going to grab out our cabbage, mushrooms, fold it over, fold this over. And then roll it. Yeah, one egg roll is bigger than the other. So, all right. All right. All right, there we go. And, okay. What else? Oh, wait. Flap over. Then we're going to pull this over. Am I doing it right? Probably not. So, doing the best I can since I don't want to use an egg wash. Put this on the pan. Okay. Now the next one. Now, how long am I going to be in this kitchen for? I don't know, possibly another hour. Yeah, my coffee was a little cold, so. All right, now we're going to brush it again. Grab a little bit of a handful. I'll go as fast as I can with this. So, fold over and use it as a square. Am I doing a good job? Probably not. So, not deliberately trying to sabotage my own cooking. So, all right, put it there. All right, grab the next one. Okay. Now, where did that story come from? I would say it's probably coming from OSA. So that's my guess because they're capable of doing something like that. So I didn't mean to sound any alarms until she says something. We'll just say that OSA is behind us. And usually they are. So, all right, because I got to mention in my comments that her dog was being abused, but she didn't really express it. So I wouldn't breathe too much into it now. So yeah, it looks like everybody's now almost everybody's got a dog. Almost everybody. So okay. And Audit LA is just getting right out there and advocating her heart contents. That's what she is doing. She's doing such an awesome job. Now, I am trying to get back in, but I'm going to check my email and see, because one day I was thrown off when, of course, when I got hacked, and I'm trying to get back in. So, all right. Did it. So, unbelievable. So, now I'm not trying to cause any fraud. I just want to hop right back into the meeting. That's what I want to do. And yeah, they expect everybody else to follow the rules, but they don't care if Scientology is. So. But hopefully I get back in this week, and then I'll tell you all about it. Even if I have to go down there myself, but I don't really have enough money to go down there myself. Support my channel, please. I need it. But since I changed my name around, it looks like I got a little bit more views since I changed my name. Now I'll probably have to do more changes to get all you to come on. So I do got plenty of good stories, and one of them is Scientology versus Mafia. So I'm definitely going to do those, so people can actually get an idea of how Scientology is operating and how the Mafia or La Cosa Nostra is operating. Because, yeah, they just got the wrong idea. That's all. I mean, they think they got the right information, but they don't. I'm sorry. So go to the 10 Commandments on the Mob. That's one of the mob shows. And now, is Laura and Sam going to do a better job than me? Possibly. So if there's like a little bit of cabbage in it, put like 1/4, so 1/3. So, or yeah, you can follow another recipe. Is this authentic? No way. I don't think it is. So, alrighty. Okay. And then I am going to bake a pie. So, game day pie. So, and of course, we got a pizza. Now we got the egg rolls for an appetizer, and the nuts mixed with raisins and almonds for also a party favor. So, of course, Pats are playing, and it might be the Bird team. No, it's not the Jets, but yeah, some informer, huh? But do I love the atmosphere of the Super Bowl? Yes, I do. Of course. So there it is. Fold it over. So now you have it like this, and you fold it over like first fold this over, and then you actually curve it like so. All right, so I am not going to fry it. I'm just going to bake it. So now, if you want to fry it, then go ahead, be my guest. So I think you're supposed to be putting, I think, 1 cup. Okay, so yeah, I put so much in here. So okay, fold it over, the square part down, and then we fold it over like this, like that. Now, do I follow a regular recipe? If I have to stream, then no. I have to get creative because you cannot use another copyright because you're infringing on an individual's rights. So, all right. So we're going to grab out our second one. All right. Maybe I should have actually, oh, geez. Maybe I should have just done the small pan. So take this. Now, in case you notice, they don't have the TV guide anymore since the internet came around. Isn't that a hoot? Okay, so. All right, there we go. I'm actually draining the whole thing. Square side, right here. Turn it with the edges pointing towards you. Bring it forward. Then fold it over. Fold the 2 ends over like so. And then there we are. Okay. Yeah, I put a little bit too much space. So I think possibly Sam and Jenna does better than me. But you know what? It's okay because I'm not afraid of making a mistake at all. Yeah, because I was told that it can be a little bit more funnier if you make a mistake. So naturally I'm doing it. So okay. All right. I should have used the other one, but other pan that I have, but I didn't. So alrighty. All right. So I think that's it. It's a little drenched, but it's okay. So we fold it over. I'll try again next time. All right. Of course, you know, I try and try until it's actually done in the oven. All right. And now we're gonna make our apple pie. So we're gonna put this away and make sure it doesn't actually dry up. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up and that'll be the end of it. Okay. Oh, darn it. Okay, hold on. Get rid of these. Okay. Now, all right, so, okay. Wipe this down so we don't get this all over our crust. So, all right. There. Okay. There. Grab out the apple pie. The apples. Meaning. Oh, wait. Here it is. So let me wash. Well, oh, I had to actually. Okay. So let me wash these. The pie pan. You know what? I'm going to have to pass on it because it looks like it's going to turn into apple crisp. So get the other. All righty. So I'm going to use this and turn it into apple crisp. So, all right. Okay, there. So this is a just in case I don't have enough apples and my crust is crumbling. Hopefully it's the right recipe for the pie crust. If not, then, I mean, I did roll it out one day and I actually had the right one, and there's a possibility that I tossed out the wrong one. So let's see what's going to happen. If not, then definitely going to use another recipe if this doesn't work out. But I am convinced that it might not work, but just in case, I'll make another one. I mean, I'd rather be creative than anything. So, and I'd rather not use another person's recipe. So me, I just get down to creative. So there it is. And this is going to be your first Super Bowl party. Okay. So it's possible that I'm going to turn everything into apple crisp. Because last time I actually fumbled and turned everything into apple crisp. It just fell and it fell on my stove. So, hey. Alrighty. Now, is it going to roll out? I'll try it out and see if it works. So, if not, I'll just put the crust in and turn it into apple crisp, just in case. So. But my pecan pie, yeah, I think it turns out great. But just remember not to leave it in there too long. Just leave it anywhere between 25 to 30 minutes. Ready? Okay, it's on 400. And if you want, and you have your apple crisp ready or apple pie, whatever, stick in Alamo ice cream. It'll make it so great. All right. Am I going to eat everything today? No, it's going to be sitting in my refrigerator until next week. And is it a good idea? Possibly not. But it's Super Bowl day and we want to have a goodie. So I am actually giving you the crash course, even though I might have fumbled a little bit. So, okay. And if I fumbled on the egg rolls, I'll do it again another day. So, okay. I will find out and give you the full story Friday, because I'm not making any kind of money off of this, and I don't think anyone else is either. So, well, if you're lucky, one of them actually did. The kid I just talked about today, I think he hit 1 million viewers. So, of course, you have to spend more money for that. So, grab a plate. And yesterday I made tacos. That is also Super Bowl party week. So, that's another Super Bowl party food that I made yesterday. And of course, I guess if I have enough time, I will definitely make nachos from my tacos. From the taco shell that I'm making, of course. Now, here we go. Cutting up the apples right here. Okay. So we're going to grab out knife. Grabbed out a paring knife. So, just in case. All right. Stick it back in there. Okay. This, of course, you probably already heard this already from Natalie's channel. David Chapman was actually a Scientologist before running out and killing John Lennon. Was he known for being in Scientology? They would flat out deny it. But nowadays, there's the internet and the truth comes out. Not in the Catholic Church can actually get away with saying things that maybe are not true. Now, they got enough power to last them a lifetime. Now, they had good stories on, you go on the internet, every secret in the world just comes pouring out. So, when you get on the internet, make sure if you have a secret, don't say anything. Not even an inkling, because then it'll spread like wildfire. Because each and every truth does come out, and it's just goes off like wildfire. So, and of course, you know that when the former members came out of Scientology and spilled every secret there is. Now, is that the reason why I actually went on? That's one of the reasons. And the other reason is because I get taken advantage of too. Because I had an episode with several guys who just took my money. And of course, I was adamant. I was ripped off. And they're doing the same thing. They are squeezing money out of people. That's one of the main reasons why I actually decided to have my own channel. And I really wanted to really get out there, have a career as an actress, but at the same time do other creative things like painting glass and canvases and learning how to cook. Although I'm not in the kitchen that much, and when I am, I invite you guys. So, and yeah, I and it just breaks my heart because I just woke up. I thought, oh, well, you know what? They probably have psychiatrists that left that industry, but no. They're saying that Scientology is against psychiatry. Of course, I was floored. because they take matters into their own hands. So, and of course, I do advocate for mental health as well. So when you're in Scientology, they're most likely go against psychiatry, which is not very good. And they created a monster when it came to Tom Cruise actually talking about psychiatry. It just blew up in his face, and then from there he was quiet about it. And then they also made a monster out of Danny Masterson because of all those assault charges, and now he's in prison where he belongs. Yay! So, yeah, and all the truth came out when Danny Masterson was charged with assaulting those women. And of course, he was married to Bijou Phillips at the time when he was found guilty, and then she filed for divorce. And now they're a divorced couple, and their 9-year-old daughter is now, she took her daughter to I think it was a Catholic church of some kind. And yeah, at one time, Tom Cruise did want to actually be a priest, but they threw him out. He was going to go to St. Francis Monastery here in Ohio. So, yep, that did it there. Secrets come out. And if it's on the internet, it comes out in a big way. So, if you have any secrets, don't take it to the internet. So, and if you're keeping the truth for somebody, well, guess what? Bring it up on the internet. The truth will come out. Or, well, nobody's going to directly say it on the internet. But however, if somebody you know, oh boy, it's browning up good. I didn't think I was going to do that, but okay. So, yeah, if you bring it up with them outside of the internet, I guess it's okay. But what if they actually have a big mouth and brought it up on the internet? Then it will spread like wildfire. So it's possibly a better idea to keep it to yourself. All right. All righty. Okay. So it's, yeah, not good. So, okay, there. That's my apple cutter right there. All right. All right, there we go. So, of course, you know that, okay. All right. Did I actually find more people on the internet? I found one more. It's something Edwards. Let me look. DONG Edwards. And he had he had 1,086 hits. That's great. So I will come up with more. So get on your list. See if you can find a site that's not a channel that's not as popular with the Scientology cult or any other cult if you so much desire. So, and then write it down. And then if you have a channel, bring it onto your channel. Yes, I didn't want so much oil in it. So, and if I make a mistake, I'll make a new one, and then that'll be the end of it. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Jeez. Turn it over. And then put this one back in the oven. Of course, I should have used that once, but here we go. Alrighty, here's the other one. And we're going to turn this one over. Okay. Oh, boy. Ah. You know what? Oh, geez. Yeah, let me actually put this on my hand, on the other hand. And, geez. Oh, boy. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Hopefully it's not going to rip apart at the bottom. So here we go. Yep, there it is. Okay. All right, here we are. And there it is. So we're going to turn it over and then put it back in the oven. There. So that's our Super Bowl egg rolls. I guess it made up the two that, since I was late, I guess the 2 hours made up for it. So, okay. All right. All right, that should do it with this. Now, okay, there we go. They actually went the wrong end, so there we go. I'm gonna toss these out. She got her application rejected per aid from the Aftermath Foundation, or start up a GoFundMe page for her. So now, could I do it? I already did it with the SP Foundation, but guess what? I can't find it anywhere. So he probably has it, but yeah, either that or I did it the wrong way. So there we go. Now we're going to see what's going to happen. And guess what? It's going to be called the Apple Crisp. Yes. So let's see if it's going to work. So I probably think Sam and Jen are better at it, but you know what? I'm only in the kitchen about 3 times a week. That's not enough. So, all right. So let's see here. Called Apple Crisp. So, all right. I don't think it's going to work. So that'll be the end of it. So let's see here. Yeah, it's going to be called Apple Crisp. So it fell apart. So it's going to be called Apple Crisp. right, and there we go. Now we're going to create the crust from the bottom. Yeah, it's really funny, isn't it? Now, I'm not in the kitchen enough to be doing this, so the only time I'm in the kitchen is on the holiday or the weekend. That's the only time I'm in the kitchen. So, and if I'm going streaming live, I do not want to use other people's recipe. So that's the end of it. Because that you're infringing on their rights when you're doing it. So, all right, there we go. Now, let me see. If you run into Laura FM or Audit LA, tell them to contact Human Animal Audit Corner. I changed the name a little bit and add human because it didn't really describe as much on the animal rights activism, even though I did bring it up, but it came up with the more of the human rights stories than the animal rights stories. And so I had to do it up again. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons why my channel is not flopping, but it looks like it's going to go back up because last time I checked, I had 22 views once I changed it. So I think, yeah, I think it had to do the way I named it. Okay. All righty. Okay. Here we go. All right. All righty. Put this at each end. So guess what I'm going to do? The next time I do a baking segment on my cooking segment, yeah, I'll have a new recipe by then. I'm going to toss out this one, or keep it as an apple crisp dough. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sam and Jenna are probably better at it than I am. Is my stuff edible? It is remorse parts, but I flopped once and my crepes sort of turned into candy. But I went back, changed it, and that was the end. So it was hilarious. So, all right. Okay, so now I'm going to go along the edges. And I promise you, next time I make apple pie, I'm going to change it up. So, as much. So, and I sent one to Cubs fan since I'm from Boston and they moved Commerce. And I'm like, you know what? Those yuts. I actually walked down the street on all my appointments growing up as a little girl with my mother, hand in hand. And all of a sudden, there are a bunch of nut jobs there. Not good. So, yeah, boy. Okay. Yeah. And it's horrible. But, yeah, I mean, I know it's a free country, but in that free country, just let Scientology get in the way with, call it Scientology a religion when it's really not. Because Real religions don't go around buying up hotels or abusing people or forcing them to donate. Yeah. No. They're not our religion. But the church does buy buildings, although that's not what Jesus attended. He attended for everybody to worship outside, but at the same time, I can understand the winter weathers, but okay. All right. So I'm convinced they're not even a religion. All righty. So we're halfway there. All right. So this is going to be called an apple crisp. That pie. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see if this is done. All right. Let's see here. All right. A little more. So, all right. So we got our egg rolls in. Alrighty. And then I think I'm going to have enough until next month. All right. And these are ready. All right. There we go. It's ready. All right. Let's see if it'll cook up in there. Yeah, it smells amazing too. So, all right. Called apple crisp. All right. And I got more junk food in there, so I'm gonna hold off on making more junk food. So, and next week is a Valentine's Day. Am I gonna bake? You know what? Probably not. Because, oh, wait. I think this coming week is, no, I think it's next week. Valentine's Day. Let me see here. Yeah. It's going to be, let's see. I think it's going to be either Thursday or Friday. So I am going to possibly, actually, you know what? Yeah. It's on Saturday, this Saturday coming up, not the Saturday past. Yes. So will I cook something on that day? Yes. So Saturday is Valentine's Day, and we are gonna be baking, well, having food. All right, there we go. That. Okay. So, all right. This time I promise I'll make sure that I actually make the right recipe. So far, the ones I'm getting that I'm gonna get right is baklava. All right, hey green grass. I hope to hear from you soon, honey. I'm not seeing you anywhere in there. So, Now, there are other people in there, but okay. All righty. Let's see if my views are going to go up. So, oh boy. I'm going to turn it into like a shell-like thing. And it's going to be a shell. So that's what I'm going to do. Turn it into like a shell. So you do not get restrictive. You get creative, especially nowadays since they proved that you can actually put holes in the ozone layer. I think I did it with the egg roll. So next time I'll do better. Okay. So is Jenna going to do better than me? Probably. Because I'm not in the kitchen enough and I don't want to use other people's recipes. And I hardly ever do it ahead of time. But however, did I do it ahead of time one day? Yes, I did. That's when I lost my internet connection. So it is something. Yeah, I did it ahead of time when I lost my internet connection. So, all right. Okay. All right. Now, is anyone on the SPTV network aware of my channel? Probably not. So I'm going to try again. So I told Audit LA definitely knows about my channel. I mean, she subscribed to me and everything. So, and let's see here. Now, and Dusty Soda Fountain definitely knows about my channel. He did mention me, but I don't think anyone else is. So, okay. Now, we're almost there with the shell, with the way I created the shell. So, all righty, there. All right. All righty, there we go. Now, is the holiday really going off without a hitch? I really think so. All right. Now, put this on there. All right. Almost there. And then I'm going to make the top. As soon as I finish. Okay. Finish my apples. Get it mixed. There. I knew it was going to turn out this way. So I'm like, you know what? I better grab out my casserole. So I did. So now after today, I'm going to have salad all week. Yep. Because, all righty, here we are. So there's my apple crisp. Yep, that's what you should do when you make errors. Be creative. I've been creative my entire life. So that's what I did. All right. Now, guess what I'm going to do? I am going to actually make the apple portion of this. So here we are. Oh, I better use this quick before. Okay. Alrighty. All right. So I think it probably turned out right. I'm not going to put any more lemon juice in there because I don't want it to be too tart. So, all right. So we're going to put this away. This is in. Oops. A little bit of an error. All righty. Here we are. And now we're going to add about, let's see. I was out thinking, you know what? I'm going to rinse this out, then use it. So I'm not going to put so much sugar in there because this is the natural sugar. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of sugar in there. That'll be the end of it. Okay. Then we're going to mix it around. Now, we're going to hope that we're actually going to not make it like it's tart. Let me see. This is good enough. So two teaspoons of or 2.5 spoons. No. Yeah. 2.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. Okay. Alrighty. All right. Okay, there we go. And then so I'm gonna grab the one that is already open. All right. There. All right, now I am gonna put 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm gonna put these away. I don't need these. All right. All right, so there's. Okay. And I think I'm gonna put the half in. No. Yeah, I'll just use this for the half. All right, so here we go. Yeah, just put the half in using this. And now, let's see if I can find my nutmeg. I got all these herbs, but all right. let's see here, let's see here. Ginger, mint. Where is that nutmeg? Oh boy, let's see here. Nutmeg. Just a teaspoon. Or you can put at least a half a teaspoon in there. Okay. I'm gonna put this back. All right, now we're gonna stir it around. Okay. Oh boy. Maybe I should have put half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Oh well. All right. So we're gonna mix it all around. All right. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna form the top part after we pour this in. Okay. So we take this out. Place in this bowl right here. Okay. Now we're gonna pour everything in this. All right, and how is it going to turn out? I think it'll probably turn out fine. Okay. All right, there we go. We made the top part. What a rude awakening. And there it is. So, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Yes, it looks like it is done. Let's see here. Yep, looks like it is. All right. Yeah. Yep, it looks like it is done. All right, so it's now officially done, but now we're going to turn down the heat to 350. There we go. All right. Now we're going to make the top part of the apple crisp. All right. All right. So now, here we go. Making the top part. Is it going to turn out right? I think so. Okay. All right. Now the good part of maybe it has a little bit of a holes. Steam will come. There won't be. I won't have to make a nip on top. Okay. There we go. All right. All righty. We're going to put this right next to, I'm going to keep on putting it right next to each other. Okay, there we go. It is on 350. So, all righty. All righty. Here we are. Okay. All right. There we go. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to fold the crust over. All right. So we're going to do this. Fold it over. Hopefully it'll work. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, it crumbled, so it's called apple crisp now. So there we go. Alrighty. So there we are. All right. So this is the best I can do right now. So we're going to pour this on top. All right. So now we're going to put this in the oven. And is it going to turn out right? Well, we'll find out. So, all right. Put this in. All right. And here are the egg rolls. Let me show you. All right. Okay. Here they are. All right. And your pizza. And this is making it big in your Super Bowl party. Oh, let me see if I can actually put, nah, maybe not. Let me sprinkle this on top. Nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna look foolish doing that. So that should do it for today. Now I'll be back either Wednesday or Thursday with my monologue corner about Can and Scientology. So I'm working on buying me a coffee. I didn't do it right, but if you want to contribute to my channel, go to PayPal, send it to me. And you know what? Laura needs aid. Laura FM needs aid. So send her something along so she can actually pay her bills. And okay. Now, hit the like and press subscribe. And I'll see you either Wednesday or Thursday. Happy Super Bowl's Day. Okay.